everyone for coming today. Isa was just 6 days away from turning 15, but her story ended before it ever got the chance to begin. Isla Grace Marschke was born on October 24, 2009 in Bunbury, Queensland, Australia. She was the youngest daughter of Christy Jacobson and was raised with the loving support of her stepfather, Andy McLucas. She grew up alongside her siblings, Ava Marschke, Ella Marschke, and Rafe Marschke, in a home full of love, laughter, and music. Christy is a well-known musician and choir leader in the Bunbury community, and Andy played guitar. Sharing the same passion for music with both parents involved in the arts, creativity was part of their everyday life. From early on, Isla and her siblings were surrounded by songs, instruments, and rhythm. But even in a home full of talent, Isa stood out. She had a natural gift for singing and dancing, picked up rhythms easily, and loved performing for her family. She was bright, playful, and full of energy, the kind of person who could light up a room just by being in it. Isa started her schooling in Bunbury, where she quickly made friends and left a lasting impression on her teachers. She loved being involved, whether it was in the classroom, on stage, or during school activities. Isa always showed up with a big smile and a fearless spirit. Even at that age, people could tell she had something rare. She wasn't just creative, she had a spark. And while most kids were still finding their voices, Isa was already using hers to lift others up. Isa started high school at Shalom Catholic College in Bunbury. At first, everything seemed fine. She had a quirky personality and a wicked sense of humor, the kind of humor that not everyone understood. But the people who did loved it. Isa was also very talented. She had a beautiful voice, could sing anytime, and could play different instruments too. On June 12, 2023, Isa and her friend Brooklyn Sauer entered the next level high school talent competition as a duo called Three Above. They performed an original song they had written together and won the competition, representing Shalom College with pride and passion. It was one of the happiest moments of her high school journey. Her voice was so good that the school even asked her to record the national anthem to be played during assemblies. Isa cared deeply about the people close to her. She didn't connect with everyone, but when she did, she gave all of her heart. But during her time at Shalom, things slowly started to change. People she once laughed with began acting differently. Some stopped being kind. One former friend even made TikTok videos that made fun of Isa and called her names like Rat. Isa had already been dealing with anxiety, OCD, and autism for years, but the way she was being treated made it even harder. She began to feel more alone, more unsure, and more overwhelmed at home. Isa became quieter. Her mom, Christy, saw that something was wrong and tried to get her help. She said, "I live in a regional town, and I went for months and months desperately trying to find a child psychologist who could help my daughter, but I was constantly turned away because she was too young, or their books were full. Follow-up care was almost impossible." The school did try to help. Shalom's principal, Daniel McMahon, later said, "Kids have to navigate some difficult situations. Sadly, our teachers worked very hard to deal with it when it arose, but some of it happened in secreta. Couple of individuals of whom I am aware are not students at the school. Harold, sister Ava, who was 16 at the time, tried her best to protect her. She said, "I've had to message them before to leave Isla alone. I've had to speak to them at school because it just gets out of hand. They were just awful to her. Even though her family and teachers were doing their best, I was still struggling." By early 2024, I's family realized that staying at Shalom Catholic College wasn't helping her anymore. Her mental health was getting worse, and the way she felt at school made it harder for her to cope. In May 2024, Isa officially left Shalom and began homeschooling. The decision was made out of love. Her family hoped that being at home would give her more peace and safety. Without the stress of the classroom, Isa could focus on healing and being in a space where she felt supported. In January 2024, Isa joined Tance studio in Bunbury. It was completed in her first hip-hop solo. She worked at a local dance competition and coaches, and classmates saw her talent right away. She was confident, expressive, and full of energy. For a little while, things felt lighter. Is still facing challenges, but she was smiling. More, she was creating. Again, her family and friends could see how bright she was when she was an ass-pace that understood her. But sadly, the change came too late. On October 8, 2024. Isla passed away at just 14 years old, 6 days before her 15th birthday. Her death left her family, friends, and the entire Bundberg community heartbroken. After Isa's passing, more information began to surface, not just about her personal struggles, but about the school environment. She had been part of a news report revealed that some students at Shalom Catholic College had been running anonymous TikTok accounts. These accounts posted rankings and comments about other students, often focusing on appearance. Some videos included captions like "Year 10 cutie, prettiest year 7, or even "hottest student." Others played guessing games, giving clues about students based on things like hair color, height, or popularity. Even though many of these posts were later deleted, they had already been seen and shared. The principle of Shalom. Daniel McMahon said, "These pages were often made in secret and could be difficult to track," he said. "They are toxic and can cause untold damage. When we become aware of them, we act as quickly as possible." While the school stated there was no direct link between these accounts and IA's experience, the timing and tone of the posts raised serious concerns about how students were being treated online, especially by their peers. On October 8, 2024, the same day Isa passed, her older sister Ava quietly created a GoFundMe page to help with funeral costs. She didn't tell her family right away. She just wanted to do something, anything, to help her mom during such a painful moment. What happened next was truly heartwarming. In just days, the fundraiser reached over 65,000 Australian dollars, with nearly 1,000 donations from people all over the community, friends, family, and even complete strangers. What stood out most was how many students from Isa's school donated. Many of the donations were small, $5, $10, but they meant the world. These were teens giving what they could just to show they cared. Isa's mom, Christy, later shared how deeply touched she was. She said she was humbled and almost horrified by the kindness, because her family had always been givers, not takers, but the support showed just how much Isla was loved and how many hearts she had touched. On October 21, 2024, Isa's funeral was held at the Sports Center of Shalom Catholic College, the same place where she once sang, smiled, and made memories. The service began at 4 p.m. as her family, friends, and classmates came together to say goodbye. The room was filled with quiet, tears, warm hugs, and shared stories. People remembered Isla not just as a student, but as a daughter, a sister, a friend, and someone who had left a mark on everyone she met. Even in the deepest sadness, there was love, because Isla had given so much of it in her short time. In the months that followed, Isa's older sister, Isla Marschke, created something truly special. A song written, sung, and produced entirely by her in honor of Isa. The lyrics, filled with love and pain, captured everything that words alone could never say. If you'd like to listen, the link to the full song is in the description below. Then in March 2025, their sister Ava turned her grief into action by joining Laps for Life, a national fundraiser supporting youth mental health. Ava helped open an important conversation, one about support, awareness, and kindness through these acts of love. A song, a swim, a story. Isa's light continues to shine. She was more than what happened to her. Isla was a joyful spirit, a gifted performer, a kind soul, and a sister who is deeply missed. And now, thanks to the love of her family, especially Ella and Ava, she will never be forgotten. To anyone watching, check on your people, be kind, speak up, and always remember Isla Marschke, a bright light who deserved the world.